This game is not suitable for children or those who are easily disturbed. Individuals suffering from anxiety or depression may not have a safe experience playing this game. For content warnings, please visit that website. By playing Doki Doki Literature Club, you agree that you are at least 13 years of age and you consent to your exposure of highly disturbing content. I agree. Yeah, so hello everybody and welcome to Doki Doki Literature Club. I decided that I was going to go ahead and start playing this because of the fact that I actually bought Doki Doki Plus on my Xbox so I can actually stream it. The problem with that is it's kind of impossible for me to do it at the moment because my headset is not working properly. Because I had tried to stream the original Psychonauts game, because the second one's coming out soon, and when I went to go upload and edit those for YouTube, it didn't want to work, because basically with the way the headset is and how it's broken, it kind of plays the game audio twice, because my headset's able to fully pick it up into the mic as well, so the speakers in the headset, the audio that comes out of it gets picked up by the mic, and it's like fully clear, so it just sounds like the gameplay audio is repeating itself. So I need to get a new headset. Unfortunately, I don't have the money for a new one, but I do promise that I will be getting to Doki Doki Literature Club Plus soon. I can't say like how soon, but it'll be soon. It should be before the end of the year at the very least. But I'll be going into that game completely blind, whereas with this one, I already kind of know a lot of the things that happen. I just wanted to play it as kind of like a starter for the new one. But anyway, I went, and also because some people may not have actually seen a lot of this before. I mean, a lot of people have, but some people might not have. And you probably didn't even come to my channel to watch this, which you probably went to Markiplier or Jacksepticeye or Game Grumps or PewDiePie or whoever, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, because this game's been out for a while, and they're a lot bigger YouTubers. But the point is, if you're watching this, thank you very much. But yeah, let's just get into this, and then we'll eventually get into Doki Doki Plus. So let's just start. And then we'll just put this as my name. Oh, I forgot. So this is something else too. Of course, this game has literally no spoken dialogue. It's all in text box. And after playing the first episode of Undertale, I'm like, yeah, I can't do voices. I'm not a good voice actor. So I'm not going to be reading these in voices. So like Markiplier or Jacksepticeye or PewDiePie, I'm not doing voices. I'm just going to be reading. So if you want to know who's saying things at any given time, I would just suggest you watch the video. Because like I can't do voices, and I can't, like, especially like for a female voice, I can't keep it going for that long either. So not only is it crap, but I can't keep it going. So you're gonna have to just kind of watch and see who's saying what at any given time if you want to follow along properly. Anyway, here we go. Hey! I see an annoying girl running toward me from the distance, waving her arms in the air like she's totally oblivious to any attention she might draw to herself. That girl is Sayori, my neighbor and good friend since we were children. You know, the kind of friend you'd never see yourself making today, but it just kind of works out because you've known each other for so long. We used to walk to school together on days like this, but starting around high school she would oversleep more and more frequently, and I would get tired of waiting up. But if she's going to chase after me like this, I almost feel better off running away. However, I just sigh and idle in front of the crosswalk and let Sayori catch up to me. I overslept again, but I caught you this time. Maybe, but only because I decided to stop and wait for you. You say that like you were thinking about ignoring me. That's mean, Clint. Well, if people stare at you for acting weird, then I don't want them to think we're a couple or something. Fine. But you did wait for me after all. I guess you don't have it in you to be mean even if you want to. Whatever you say, Sayori. We cross the street together and make our way to school. As we draw near, the streets become increasingly speckled with other students making their daily commute. By the way, Clint, have you decided on a club to join yet? A club? I told you already, I'm not really interested in joining any clubs. I haven't been looking either. That's not true. You told me you would join a club this year. Did I? I'm sure it's possible that I did, in one of our many conversations where I dismissively go along with whatever she's going on about. Sayori likes to worry a little too much about me, when I'm perfectly content just getting by on the average, while spending my free time on games and anime. Uh-huh. I was talking about how I'm worried that you won't learn how to socialize or have any skills before college. Your happiness is really important to me, you know. And I know you're happy now, but I'd die at the thought of you becoming a NEET in a few years because you're not used to the real world. I couldn't tell you what NEET actually means, but I do know it's basically just somebody who kind of just lays around doing basically nothing all day, every day. Because I think it's something like not in education or employment training or whatever it is. The point is basically you just don't have a job and you don't go to school, is what a NEET is. Which is actually kind of me at the moment. Since YouTube isn't technically my job at this point, and I'm not in school. You trust me, right? Don't make me keep worrying about you. Alright. I'll look at a few clubs if it makes you happy. No promises, though. Will you at least promise me you'll try a little? Yeah, I guess I'll promise you that. Yay! Why do I let myself get lectured by such a carefree girl? More than that, I'm surprised I even let myself relent to her. I guess seeing her worry so much about me makes me want to ease her mind at least a little bit, even if she does exaggerate everything inside of her head. The school day is as ordinary as ever, and it's over before I know it. After I pack up my things, I stare blankly at the wall, looking for an ounce of motivation. Clubs. Sayori wants me to check out some clubs. I guess I have no choice but to start with the anime club. Hello? Sayori? Sayori must have come into the classroom while I was spacing out. I look around and realize that I'm the only one left in the classroom. I thought I'd catch you coming out of the classroom, but I saw you just sitting here and spacing out, so I came in. Honestly, you're even worse than me sometimes. I'm impressed. You don't need to wait up for me if it's going to make you late to your own club. Well, I thought you might need some encouragement, so I thought, Know what? Well, that you could come to my club. Sayori. Yeah? There is no way I'm going to your club. Meanie. Sayori is vice president of the literature club. Not that I was ever aware she had any interest in literature. In fact, I'm 99% sure she only did it because she thought it would be fun to help start a new club. Since she was the first one to show interest after the one who proposed the club, she inherited the title vice president. That said, my interest in literature is guaranteed to be even less. Yeah, I'm going to the anime club. Come on, please. Why do you care so much anyway? Well, I kind of told the club yesterday I would bring in a new member, and Natsuki made cupcakes and everything. Don't make promises you can't keep. I can't tell if Sayori is really that much of an airhead, or if she's so cunning as to have planned all of this out. I let out a long sigh. Fine, I'll stop by for a cupcake, okay? And if in real life, I actually would. The cupcakes and other junk food is the way to my heart. Yes, let's go. And thus, today marks the day I sold my soul for a cupcake. Worth it. I dejectedly follow Sayori across the school and upstairs, a section of the school I rarely visit, being generally used for third-year classes and activities. Sayori, full of energy, swings open the classroom door. Everyone, the new member is here. I told you, don't call me a new member. Eh? I glance around the room. Welcome to the literature club. It's a pleasure meeting you. Sayori always says such nice things about you. Seriously? You brought a boy? Way to kill the atmosphere. Ah, Clint, what a nice surprise. Welcome to the club. All words escaped me in this situation. This club is full of incredibly cute girls. What are you looking at? If you want to say something, say it. Sorry. Natsuki. The girl with the sour attitude, whose name is apparently Natsuki, is one I don't recognize. Her small figure makes me think she's probably a first year. She is also the one who made cupcakes, according to Sayori. And also, I should clarify, this is something I'm going to do. I'm going to try to match the tone of the girls, but I'm not doing voices, so maybe that'll help you guys follow along a little bit. So, like, for Yuri, I might do something kind of like this, because she does end up being, like, really timid and quiet. But then for Natsuki, I'm just going to do something like this, where she's just annoyed at everybody. And then for Monika, it's just kind of like a calm, but leader, well, not really leader, I guess, but it's like a calm kind of sound. And then for Sayori, she's just, like, all, like, high-strung and everything. And then for me, it's just my normal voice. You should hopefully be able to tell as we read through this. You can just ignore her when she gets moody. Sayori says that quietly, she whispered it apparently. Sayori says that quietly into my ear and then turns back toward the other girls. Anyway, this is Natsuki, always full of energy. And this is Yuri, the smartest in the club. Don't say things like that. Yuri, who appears comparably more mature and timid, seems to have a hard time keeping up with people like Sayori and Natsuki. Ah, well, it's nice to meet both of you. And it sounds like you already know Monika, is that right? That's right. It's great to see you again, Clint. Monika smiles sweetly. We do know each other. Well, we rarely talked, but we were in the same class last year. Monika was probably the most popular girl in class. Smart, beautiful, athletic. Basically, completely out of my league. So having her smile at me so genuinely feels a little... You too, Monika. Come sit down, Clint. We made room for you at the table so you can sit next to me or Monika. I'll get the cupcakes. Hey, I made them. I'll get them. Sorry, I got a little too excited. Then how about I make some tea as well? The girls have a few desks arranged to form a table. As Sayori mentioned, it's been widened so that there is one space next to Monika and one space next to Sayori. Natsuki and Yuri walk over to the corner of the room, where Natsuki grabs a wrapped tray and Yuri opens the closet. Still feeling awkward, I take a seat next to Sayori. Natsuki proudly marches back to the table, tray in hand. Okay, are you ready? Ta-da! Whoa! Natsuki lifts the foil off the tray to reveal a dozen white, fluffy cupcakes decorated to look like little cats. The whiskers are drawn with icing, and little pieces of chocolate were used to make ears. So cute! I had no idea you were so good at baking, Natsuki. Well, you know. Just hurry and take one. Sayori grabs one first, then Monika. I follow. It's delicious! Sayori talks with her mouth full and has already managed to get icing on her face. Okay, so it was more like, it's delicious! Because her mouth was full. I turn the cupcake around my fingers, looking for the best angle to take a bite. Natsuki is quiet. I can't help but notice her sneaking glances in my direction. Is she waiting for me to take a bite? I finally bite down. The icing is sweet and full of flavor. I wonder if she made it herself. This is really good. Thank you, Natsuki. Why are you thanking me? It's not like Haven't I heard this somewhere before? Made them for you or anything? Eh, I thought you technically did. Sayori said, well, maybe, but not for, you, dummy. Alright. I give up on Natsuki's weird logic and dismiss the conversation. Yuri returns to the table carrying a tea set. She carefully places a teacup in front of us before setting down the teapot next to the cupcake tray. You keep a whole tea set in this classroom? Don't worry, the teachers gave us permission. After all, doesn't a hot cup of tea help you enjoy a good book? I guess. Don't let yourself get intimidated. Yuri's just trying to impress you. That's not... Insulted, Yuri looks away. I meant that, I believe you. Well, tea and reading might not be a pastime for me, but I at least enjoy tea. I really don't, honestly. In real life, I don't really like tea, but, plot. I'm glad. Yuri faintly smiles to herself in relief. Monika raises an eyebrow, then smiles at me. So, what made you consider the literature club? I was afraid of this question. Something tells me I shouldn't tell Monika that I was practically dragged here by Sayori. Well, I haven't joined any clubs yet, and Sayori seemed really happy here, so... That's okay, don't be embarrassed. We'll make sure you feel right at home, okay? As president of the literature club, it's my duty to make the club fun and exciting for everyone. Monika, I'm surprised. How come you decided to start your own club? You could probably be a board member for any of the major clubs. Weren't you a leader of the debate club last year? Well, you know. To be honest, I can't stand all of the politics around the major clubs. It feels like nothing but arguing about the budget and publicity, and how to prepare for events. I'd much rather take something I personally enjoy, and make something special out of it. And if it encourages others to get into literature, then I'm fulfilling that dream. Monika's a really great leader. Yuri also nods in agreement. Then I'm surprised there aren't more people in the club yet. It must be hard to start a new club. You could put it that way. Not many people are very interested in putting out all the effort to start something brand new, especially when it's something that doesn't grab your attention, like literature. You have to work hard to convince people that you're both fun and worthwhile. But it makes school events, like the festival, that much more important. I'm confident that we can all really grow this club before we graduate. Right, everyone? Yeah! We'll do our best. You know it! Everyone enthusiastically agrees. Such different girls, all interested in the same goal. Monika must have worked really hard just to find these three. Maybe that's why they were all so delighted by the idea of a new member joining. Though I still don't really know if I can keep up with their level of enthusiasm about literature. I probably actually could in real life. I love reading. I don't do it very often because I also love video games a lot more. But when I don't have video games on hand, or I'm just really bored with video games, I'll read. Especially if it's like a really good book, like Ready Player One or Ready Player Two, or the FNAF books, even though those are technically both video game and book, but you get my point. But yeah, I do love reading though. Like, I think within a year, I ended up reading like over 100 books once, because I didn't have any access to video games at that point. But I am a huge book reader though, I really am. So Clint, what kinds of things do you like to read? Well, considering how little I've read these past few years, I don't really have a good way of answering that. Manga? I muttered quietly to myself, half joking. I mean, I will read the occasional comic book in real life too, but I'm not really into manga. Natsuki's head suddenly perks up. It looks like she wants to say something, but she keeps quiet. Not much of a reader, I guess. Well, that can change. What am I saying? I spoke without thinking after seeing Yuri's sad smile. Anyway, what about you, Yuri? Well, let's see. Yuri traces the rim of her teacup with her finger. My favorites are usually novels that build up deep and complex fantasy worlds. The level of creativity and craftsmanship behind them is amazing to me. And telling a good story in such a foreign world is equally impressive. Yuri goes on, clearly passionate about her reading. She seems so reserved and timid since the moment I walked in, but it's obvious by the way her eyes light up that she finds her comfort in the world of books, not people. But you know, I like a lot of things. Stories with deep psychological elements usually immerse me as well. Isn't it amazing how a writer can so deliberately take advantage of your own lack of imagination to completely throw you for a loop? Now that I think about it, I think that's just this entire game in a nutshell. But we'll get to that later. Anyway, I've been reading a lot of horror lately. I read a horror book once. I desperately grasped something I can relate to at the minimal level. I actually have read a lot of horror books. I've read, when I was younger, I used to read a lot of Goosebumps. And then, trying to think of, I've read a few other horror books, or things I could classify as horror. I've read some Stephen King. I read a book that I consider to be kind of like a thriller horror, which was called Ashfall, because it's like a nuclear post-apocalyptic kind of world, which was actually really good, though. There's like 3 of those books. They're so good. If you can check those out, they're definitely worth a read. At this rate, Yuri might as well be having a conversation with a rock. Really? I wouldn't have expected that, Yuri. For someone as gentle as you. I guess you could say that. But if a story makes me think, or takes me to another world, then I really can't put it down. Surreal horror is often very successful at changing the way you look at the world, if only for a brief moment. Ugh, I hate horror. Oh, why is that? Well, Natsuki's eyes dart over to me for a split second. Never mind. That's right, you usually like to write about cute things, don't you, Natsuki? What? What gives you that idea? You left a piece of scrap paper behind last club meeting. It looked like you were working on a poem called Don't say it out loud! And give that back! Fine, fine. Your cupcakes, your poems, everything you do is just as cute as you are. Sayori sidles up behind Natsuki and puts her hands on her shoulders. I'm not cute! Natsuki, you write your own poems? Eh? Well, I guess sometimes. What do you care? I think that's impressive. Why don't you share them sometime? No. Natsuki averts her eyes. You wouldn't like them. Ah, not a very confident writer yet? I understand how Natsuki feels. Sharing that level of writing takes more than just confidence. The truest form of writing is writing to oneself. You must be willing to open up to your readers, exposing your vulnerabilities and showing even the deepest reaches of your heart. Do you have writing experience too, Yuri? Maybe if you share some of your work, you can set an example and help Natsuki feel more comfortable enough to share hers. I guess it's the same for Yuri. Aw, I wanted to read everyone's poems. We all sit in silence for a moment. Okay, I have an idea, everyone. Natsuki and Yuri look quizzically at Monika. Let's all go home and write a poem of our own. Then, next time we meet, we'll all share them with each other. That way, everyone is even. Yeah, let's do it! Plus, now that we have a new member, I think it will help us all get a little more comfortable with each other and strengthen the bond of the club. Isn't that right, Clint? Monika smiles warmly at me once again. Hold on, there's still one problem. What's that? Now that we're back to the original topic of me joining the club, I bluntly come forth with what's been on my mind the entire time. I never said I would join this club. Sayori may have convinced me to stop by, but I never made any decision. I still have other clubs to look at, and, I lose my train of thought. All four girls stare back at me with dejected eyes. But, I'm sorry, I thought, Clint, you all, I'm defenseless against these girls. How am I supposed to make a clear-headed decision when it's like this? That is, if writing poems is the price I need to pay in order to spend every day with these beautiful girls? Right. Okay, I've decided then. I'll join the literature club. One by one, the girls' eyes light up. Yes! I'm so happy! Sayori wraps her arms around me, jumping up and down. Hey, you really did scare me for a moment. If you really just came for the cupcakes, I would be super pissed. Then that makes it official. Welcome to the literature club. To the literature club. Thanks, I guess. Okay, everyone. I think with that, we can officially end today's meeting on a good note. Everyone remember tonight's assignment. Write a poem to bring to the next meeting so we can all share. Monika looks over at me once more. Clint, I look forward to seeing how you express yourself. Yeah. Can I really impress the class star Monika with my mediocre writing skills? I already feel the anxiety welling up inside me. Meanwhile, the girls continue to chit-chat as Yuri and Natsuki clean up their food. Hey Clint, since we're already here, do you want to walk home with me? Oh, do you want to walk home together? That's right, Sarah and I never walk home together anymore because she's always stayed after school for clubs. Sure, might as well. Yay! With that, the two of us depart the club room and make our way home. The whole way, my mind wanders back and forth between the four girls. Sayori, Natsuki, Yuri, and of course, Monika. Will I really be happy spending every day after school in a literature club? Perhaps I'll have the chance to grow closer to one of these girls. Alright, I'll just need to make the most of my circumstances, and I'm sure good fortune will find me. And I guess that starts with writing a poem tonight. It's time to write a poem. Pick words you think your favorite club member will like. Something good might happen with whoever likes your poem the most. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and do this, and then we're gonna stop, because I want to try to keep these episodes shorter because nobody watches the longer ones anyway. And plus, it kind of helps to spread it out a little more anyway. So let's see, who am I even trying to lean more towards anyway? I think I'm leaning more towards Sayori, honestly. So what would she like? Maybe beauty. Okay. Well, strawberry. No, that was Natsuki. Embrace. Okay. Trying to find things that are happy but not necessarily cute. What about meager? No, that was Yuri. Okay. Skirt. Nope, that's a key. Vanilla. That's a cute one, really? Okay. Romance. Okay, there we go. That's a good one. Heart. Yes. What about aura? No, that one was Yuri. How about summer? Nope. Warm. Okay. What is up with all these misery and suicide ones, though? I mean, I technically know, but it's like, damn, that's just depressing as hell. What about, well, pure? No. Family. Okay. Charm. Alright. Let's see. Whistle. Nope. Kiss. No? Really? Memories. That's a good one, because we are older friends. How about games? No? Okay. Amazing. Alright. Love. Yes. Okay. And like I said, I'm going to save it right here. And then we'll pick this up later in the next video. But, yeah, I hope you guys actually stick around for this and then enjoy Doki Doki Plus when I get to it, because this is honestly a really good game. I mean, it's not the kind of game I would typically play, especially not for YouTube, but from what I've seen a lot of this on the internet, and I mean, I wasn't even going to watch this when like a lot of the other YouTubers played it, because I'm like, oh, it's just another dating sim, and it's way more than a dating sim, and so, yeah, hopefully, those of you who are watching this have either forgotten about how the game goes, which, considering how memorable of a game it is, I doubt people have forgotten, or it's your first time watching. And if it's actually your first time watching this, or playing this, or whatever, and I'm the one you came to, I really appreciate it. But again, because of the fact that I don't even have 20 subscribers yet, it doesn't surprise me that it wouldn't surprise me if you guys went to somebody else first. But if this does happen to be your first time with me, I really do appreciate it. If not, I just appreciate you watching the video in general. But until then, I'll see you guys next time.